Israel is a democratic country. Israel is not an entirely Jewish country and is also home to Arab Muslims who can vote and are entitled to citizenship rights. So it's safe to say that contrary to the propaganda, Israel is a democratic country. But let's review some of its laws regarding Arab Israelis. The law of return. This law automatically allows every Jew across the world to acquire Israeli citizenship, no matter where they live. But at the same time, it remains strongly opposed to the Palestinian right of return. Interestingly, the right of return for expelled Palestinians was enshrined in Resolution 194 of the UN General Assembly in 1984. Urban service. Although Israeli Arabs are officially recognized as Israeli citizens and possess Israeli passport, they're paid less than their Jewish counterparts when it comes to municipal budget allocation. As a result, a wealthy Palestinian populated area in Israel, such as Muala village in the Galilee region, has poorer conditions than the most impoverished Jewish development towns. In 2011, Jerusalem Post reported that between 1997 and 2009, the average income of Jews was 40 to 60% higher than that of Arab Israelis. The right to freedom of residence. Arab citizens in Israel do not have the right to reside in many of the constructed towns. This blatant violation of citizenship rights still persists in Israel, and all of the attempts made by rights organizations to end this apartheid in Israel have so far proved futile. It was Palestinians who chose to sell their lands. Did Palestinians not sell their lands? There are many historical documents that prove that the Jews purchased Palestinian lands. On the other hand, Palestinians sold their lands at high prices and had fun with their money. Now that they have run out of money, they regret selling their lands. But you should know, the entire land that was purchased under pressure and deceit from the UK government, among others, makes up less than 7% of the total land mass of Palestine, and that using deceptive measures, including 1. A seemingly legal and extravagant delegation of lands by the UK government agent when Palestine was a British colony. 2. Buying from major feudal lords who had left their lands in Palestine following the collapse of the Ottoman Empire. 3. Tempting farmers who lived under severe economic hardship by paying extravagant sums of money for their lands. Having figured out the Zionist plot, Palestinians then started to balk at selling their lands. This news was published in one of the editions of Al-Ahram newspaper in 1937. A land broker was shot dead. People were so infuriated with him that they did not allow his corpse into the mosque and did not bury him in the Muslim cemetery. In fact, 78% of the total Palestinian territory was occupied by the Zionists during the devastating war of 1948. An asymmetric war that displaced 1,200,000 Palestinians, not to mention the occupation. 531 cities and villages were razed to the ground, and thousands of Palestinians were killed.